my dailies elsewheres first. Come back to here. Oh. I really drained myself yesterday. I thought I was going to be done with that program at like 4 hours. It was 9 hours. Plus, I woke up at like noon, feeling okay. But I just didn't get out of bed and I fell back to sleep. And now I feel horrible. Really doing well. Strong Monday. I think it's Monday. Is next on the to-do list. I'm gonna pick and choose today. Make chat. That's a whole can of worms. What do I do here? Oh. It would allow me to stop using Streamlabs without feeling bad about it. No. After I also make alerts. That is something. So I'd want to test streams. It's possible. Just making the things wouldn't actually be enough for me to want to swap, but I expect it would be fine. I'm struggling saying beaver. Oh yeah, I actually need to level up my ping pong guys. It's interesting, by default, serving is just really hard to stop. I'm not sure why that is. I thought I made them have parity between what was it? Intelligence and perception. And agility and strength. Pretty sure there was parity. Check. Bum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum. It's under ping pong. Alright. So we have strength times intelligence minus fatigue divided by endurance plus random number times 10 times luck. That's the issue. There it is. That random number is the biggest swing when they're at low stats. Could just change this to a 2 because there is no parity there. They both have charisma. Does 2 feel like a crit? I guess it's not a chance to crit. You're always critting some amount, unless you roll a 0. If I do 2, rolling a 0, it's like half the time, so it is a chance to crit. You know what I can do? Oh. Hello, Ayomide. Thanks for the follow. I'm getting distracted by my programming real quick. Let me actually... That's the wrong button. There we go. Instead of doing the multiplier in here, do it outside the floor so that 0 is more likely. It's a good crit multiplier. Let's do 5. I had 10 earlier and I didn't really like it. I gotta wait for that. I really need to make the thing where I don't load my AI models when I'm not using them. Bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum. No. Why is it so hard to teleport to this place? damage and crit. Luck 7, so it makes sense that he would be good on serves. Yeah. Here's the thing. Do I want the whole thing to crit? Because this is adding up to 7 times 5. Or I could just multiply the whole number on a crit. And it would crit most of the time. Because it's a very generous crit calculation. I don't know. I'll leave it like this for a while, see how I feel. Well, not here seems out of the ordinary, though I do not see Lady Chai anywhere. Probably pacing around outside again, staring off into the distance and all that, sighing. Strange. Let's see if we can find her, and discover the source of her distress.
Heavens, you're here!
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
That is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
What? What happened?
It all began after the events at Mount Golg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see. After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No one wanted such responsibility. Nevertheless, Yulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice. Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced. But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him, for shortly after that he vanished without a word.
She's got fat rocks on those fingers.
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee? Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty. much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
You truly think so? What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
I don't know. Whatever it is, you won't have fled. I guess. I don't know.
And there you have it, Lady Chai. You needn't worry. Master Chai loves you more than all the world, and he will return.
He
Wherever
probably
he may
fled.
have gone, rest assured we will find him.
The Grim Reaper and the Little Elf Boy.
Thank you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
Makes no sense for Master Chai to have left without a word, but even if he had, he would not have done so unobserved. Someone here will have seen something, I am sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to whether anyone saw him leave, or, failing that, if they have any idea where he might have gone. I will meet you at the Glory Gate to compare notes later on. Glory Gate sounds lewd. Master Chai? Why, yes, I spoke with him recently, though I recall he was in a rather dour mood. Concerned about Ylmore's neglect of industry, you see. Lord Vothry's apparent inexhaustible stores of mule, and no great need for money. It's little wonder our businesses were all but forgotten under his rule. But I assured Master Chai that the Boutique of Splendors will do all it can to contribute to the revival of trade here in Ylmore, which seemed to satisfy him. He took his leave soon after. Your exchange with Moen has taught you about the stagnant state of business in Ylmore. Okay. I guess I go down now. Bum, 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 bum. Sure. I see red circles. New quest. Oh, Land Dweller, you were one of the ancient messengers, yes? How fortunate I found you. We need your help. Ever since the abyss was lit with the city's lanterns, a great beast the likes of which we have never seen has begun hunting near the cups. It thrashes and gnashes with its cavernous maw, leaving nothing but tattered flesh in its wake. The eldest of the Ath fear it is an omen, a harbinger of our people's destruction. Have we angered the ancients? We cannot know. We dare not enter their sacred abode without first receiving their blessings. That is why I came to this town of land dwellers, to seek those who had helped us before, and here you are. Please enter the ancient city once more, speak with them, and learn what we have done to earn their ire. A hostile creature of unknown origin threatens the lives of the Ondo people. Perhaps the clerk in Amarat's Borough of Administration can shed some light on this mystery beast. What? Why would the place... It collapsed. I clearly saw it collapsed. Alright, whatever. I recall a man fitting that description, asked to speak with the poor buggers lately come from Right. Said he wanted to know the state of things down in the derelicts. And you can be sure we gave him an earful. We hunt high and low for whatever we can to scavenge, and it's barely enough to fill our bellies. But folk here don't just want to survive, they want to thrive. When he heard that, he started mumbling to himself, something about finding us work, I think. Fair play to him, though. Not content with having his ear chewed about the derelicts, he asked about the other settlements and all. After that, I can't really say. Looked like he was headed for Gate Town when I last saw him. Exchange with Hathenbet has taught you about the poor living conditions of Galusia's downtrodden. Seems like he didn't run. He's legit just canvassing for policy. To be sure. Ain't you that bloke what brought back the night, the warrior of darkness? Good, 'cause I was asked to keep an eye out for you. Nothing untoward, worry not. It's just that, see, ever since Lord Vothry and General Ranjit ran off to God knows where, the Ulmoran army's been in shambles. Say what you will about the bastards, but they kept the city safe, or near as much. The remaining leadership types have got their work cut out for them, keeping everyone fighting fit. But for a start, there's been talk of bringing back traditional training methods. Talking about stuff what could be used to get unbloodied layabouts like me ready to take the field. Of course, there's also plenty of military men taking part, eager to hone their skills for the struggles ahead. Welcome to participate too, if you're so inclined. Head out of the city through open arms and look for a soft-faced bloke. He'll see you sorted. So angsty. Double na dab. Damn. So let's go all the way up. Didn't really mean to go all the way up. Where's the stairs? Here's the stairs. Time to go buttressing. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Looking for Master Chai, are you? Something amiss? When last I saw him, he seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted he rest and catch his breath, and he talked for a while about his concerns over the city's defenses, amongst other things. Made more than a few valid points. Many of our men are still recovering after your confrontation with Lord Vothry. Finding General Ranjit in a heap in the middle of the plaza shook us all to the core. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty, and some of our longest-serving soldiers seem lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not that we blame you, of course. Without you and yours, we would still be blind to the error of our ways. Anyway, funding permitting, I proposed replenishing our ranks with volunteers from the derelicts in Gate Town. We have a duty to protect not only Yulmore, you see, but the surrounding regions of Colusia as well, and I, for one, would welcome any man or woman willing to take up arms for that cause. Indeed, I told him as much, and he seemed relieved to hear it. It was on that note that we parted ways. He headed outside, as I recall. Exchange with Cornine has taught you about the perilous state of Yulmore's defenses. Sounds like... it's time to leave the city. How did I not see him when I went in there the first time? Ah, there you are. How did you fare? If you learned anything which might offer a clue as to Master Chai's whereabouts. Interesting. He apparently paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. They discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Yulmore, an idea to which the proprietor was surprisingly receptive. Sounds like he's got big plans for the place. Yulmore, I mean, not the bee. Perhaps, but the question remains, where did he go after leaving the city? All we know for certain is that Master Chai has shown great concern, not only for Yulmore, but its surrounding settlements. It seems logical, then, that having consulted those within the city walls, he would wish to do the same to those without. Levy, if you would go and make inquiries and write, I shall do likewise in Stilltide. Gate Town I leave to you, Kaishir. Fair enough. Where shall we meet when we've finished? Well, Top Rung would seem to me to be his next most likely destination. Let us reconvene there. With any luck, one of us will have stumbled upon him by then. But if not, we will be well situated to continue our search. Whoop. No, the name doesn't ring any bells, but there was a rather dapper-looking Mistil gentleman here not long ago. He wanted to talk about relations between Wright and Yulmore, or rather, the lack of them. We lost a great many people to their promises of mule and the chance of a lavish life among the free. And Vothri thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. I needn't tell you what happened when the Sin Eaters came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Vothri's gone now, and we're curious to see what will become of Yulmore in his absence. That's what I told your friend, Chai Nuz, was it? And I'm sure the others said the same. Not what he wanted to hear, I suppose. Perhaps he left soon after, and that was that. Yet another striking opportunity. It is so foggy here. Is it the mountain? Okay. Hail, Sinner, well met. Come to join in the new, and by new I mean old, training? Excellent. Truth be told, interest has been less than enthusiastic. In case it's not bloody obvious, we're all of us struggling to adapt to the new normal. When you wake up one day and realize half the life decisions you made weren't your own, it's hard to adjust. None can deny that we need a peacekeeping force to maintain order and defend against outside threats. Unfortunately, we're short on motivated recruits, and of the ones we've got, only a handful are up to snuff. Anyway, it's also very much a work in progress, and one we're hoping warriors like you can help us with, even if only by taking part as a guest. Draw attention to what we're trying to get off the ground, you know? So if you're keen to give it a go, let me know and I'll call for an Amaro. Can't just up and walk there. No, sir. But first, in accordance with ancient traditions, I've got to teach you the creed. He who fights with strength of stone unyielding, breathes deep of boundless sky, and embraces serenity of rolling sea. Against him none can stand. Okay. Yeah, what do you mean you've heard that one before? As far as I know, it's one of many pearls of wisdom passed down through the ages. It dates back to a Calusian poet who died some several centuries ago. Sure you're not mistaken? Eerie coincidences notwithstanding, if you'd like to hone your warcraft, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better option than unleashing everything you've got on one of our contraptions. Is this the raid practice thing? Yeah. Okay. So he paid a visit to both Wright and Gate Town as well, did he? I see. Kaishir and I gleaned much the same. He seems determined to salvage what goodwill might yet remain among the settlements of Galusia. The only likely place he has left to go being Amity. Come, if we are quick, we may yet catch up to him. Blue quest. I think the first time I've actually flown my own griffin. Hail, Sinner. Have you heard about the string of thefts in Comra? Word has it that they haven't the foggiest who's behind them. Not a clue. They've gotten desperate to find the culprit, I'm told, pointing fingers at any who so much as sneeze in a suspicious fashion. Why, the next thing you know, they'll be blaming their old rivals in Tomra. Wicked White. They would do that, wouldn't they? Damn those thin-bearded blighters. Listen, Sinner. You go and tell them that if they try to pin this on us, there'll be consequences. I think this might be a daily starter. Wee. Yes, yes. Lala bleeding. Oh, it's you. My apologies. Sinner, been under a bit of stress lately and don't really have time to chat. Although, perhaps you can help. I know you welcome these sorts of requests for aid, after all. Things have been going missing, you see. At first it was just the odd tool here and there, but then the thief began making off with finds from the dig. Valuable finds. If you've got the time, I could use some help in identifying the culprit. I don't like to think of it, but it's likely that the thief is one of our own. Hard to access the site otherwise, and I've investigated most of the unfamiliar faces in town to no avail. Can't very well ask you to stroll up to the folks and, with a lolly-ho, done any crimes lately, but do have a look around. Perhaps you can find a clue that I've overlooked. I'll take anything at this point, frankly. You don't look to have any our criminal stuff in your pack there, but I take it you found some other manner of clue. It's a blue bracelet. Hold on, I think I've seen this before. It belongs to a young lady in the village, if I'm not mistaken. Though I couldn't say how she came by such a valuable trinket. Seeing as regular folk can hardly fail to notice when something jewel-encrusted goes missing, she'll like as not be wondering where it's gone right about now. Probably find her in a panic. All the better for getting her to spill her secrets. Delicate dwarven damsel. Thrice damned, beardless son of a shite-eating hob. Where could my bloody bracelet have gone? There you go. Found it, and you're returning it too. Well, bugger me beard. Thank you ever so much. It was a gift, and I'd hate to have lost it. Gift from who, you ask? You probably don't know him. He's a guard over at the dig site. I had no idea that sort of job pays so well. But it must. When we met, he was a right bastard where money was concerned. I could hardly get him to pay for my ale, but of late he's been downright generous. In a much better mood, too. Oh, and so very affectionate. Yes. Huh. Okay. Focus on the bracelet, if you insist. I don't know where he got it, though we don't do a lot of talking. If you're that curious, you'll have to ask him. He keeps watch over the entrance day and night, so he's not a difficult man to find. I don't want to make someone else's horny noises. Come on, let us in, let us in. Come on, you know you want to. What I want is for you two to bugger off. I'm a watchman, not a stand here while everyone annoys the piss out of me, man. Whoop. Don't look now, Anog, but our very dear friend is here, and so very heavily armed, too. I'm sure that he can help settle this little dispute. Why are you here? As if costing me my dinner weren't enough. How did I afford a jewel-encrusted bracelet on a watchman's salary? That's none of your concern. I recall they have something of a history with ill-gotten gains. Doubt my words all you like. I won't be intimidated by the likes of you. I will doubt your words, I guess. This proves nothing, you hear me? Nothing! Well, I don't know what you're accusing him of, but I'm absolutely sure he's guilty of it. More importantly, he's made off with the key. After him. We've got you cornered. I don't think he's alone, sister. Oh dear, a hasty retreat does seem to be in order. Just so. That's right, surprise triplets. What now, baldling? Surprise triplets? Very well, I confess, I did it. Or, we did it. We took turns keeping watch while the others picked over items from the dig site and sold off whatever seemed valuable. We would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling kids. Also you, however old you are. Just wanted to impress her. There's no chance of that now. All I can do is grovel before the chief and hope that he doesn't punish me too harshly. You notice that something shiny and metallic has fallen to the ground. Picking up the glimmering object, you see that it is the very key to the dig site that Anog and Konog were so keen to obtain. That's case closed then. It's a good job that you showed up. Who knows how long this farce would have continued otherwise. As for you, you won't be getting any dinner tonight, that's for certain. No, anything but the dinner. To think that I was employing 3 brothers in disguise this entire time. I doubt I'll be changing my vocation to detective anytime soon. I guess I just murdered his brothers. By the by, haven't seen Anog and Konog, have you? Usually when they go this long without getting underfoot, it means they're up to something. I'd be grateful if you'd track them down again and send them my way. They are peskier than a pack of pixies, but even so, I'd rather keep them where I can see them. That's the watch taken care of, but we never did get that key. You mean to say that you picked it up, and no one's even noticed it's missing? Splendid. I shall open the door, and then you may escort us on our foray. After all, everyone knows that the only thing that brings you more joy than being of service to your fellow man is adventure. Indeed, your adventurous spirit calls you toward ever greater challenges, no matter how staggeringly ill-advised or outright suicidal. Rude, but fair, I suppose. Isn't it just? I don't think I can fit. Very long now. There are secrets to be found here, and we'll be the ones to bring them to light, and possibly to market, depending. Maybe we'll even give you a share of the spoils. Small one, mind. Locked, which bodes well for us finding something worth our time within, assuming we can get it open. The moment of truth, then. I have a bomb. Several. That was easy. Intruders sighted, eliminating with extreme prejudice. Boing, boing. Okay. Hello, Chief. What have you done? I found your near stuff. Wicked white. The machine life forms. Machine life forms? What are you talking about? Why didn't she blow up? I am number 2P. Call me 2P. The rest can wait. The machine life forms must be stopped. To do that, we must reach the heart of the runes. Come. Anog, Gonog, don't you dare. How bloody stupid are they? Listen, sinner. I know we've put you to plenty of trouble already, but I need you to stop them before they dig themselves any deeper. At this rate, someone's going to get hurt. Another door. Who needs this many doors? Sealed per defense protocols, I believe. Protocols, schmotocols. We've got something for this immovable object. Unstoppable force. Why are we just staring at me? Okay. Ah ha ha. How do you like that? I'm sure you were told to keep us from getting into trouble, or some such nonsense, right? He's standing right there. But who took care of those machines? Us. Who got the door open? Us. Who's going to find out what's in there? Us. I'm just along for the ride. Nope. Where am I going? Buffy, Alphino, Kaishir, what are you doing here? Might ask you the same, Master Chai. We've been looking all over for you. Looking for me? Whatever for? Lady Chai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word, and bade us return you to her side. What in blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers. Though I suppose she could have overlooked it. And when she gets an idea into her head, I can only apologize. No harm done, Master Chai. Since we are here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? You were told you had been elected mayor, and from what we have gathered from the nearby villages, you have been inquiring about the people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office? Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Calusia. That much is true, but I am by no means sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. I see, and you believe said resources can be found here. Indeed, the people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries I have already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might yet make a mayor of me. With respect, such forethought is in itself proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai, and I am certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. For what little it is worth, we will vouch for you should he require convincing. We believe in you, Master Chai. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. You've got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to make it into Yulmore. But that dream's gone now, burst like a bubble. Or a boil, more like. Anyway, outside of repaying Master Alphino, I haven't had a clue what to do with myself. Spent most days in a daze. But you've been running up and down, trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up Mount Gold, didn't you? How hard could mayoring be? You're going to steer Yulmore to a better future, I know it. And I want to help, properly help, do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work it out on the way, if you let me come with you, that is. You give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you, but I can't deny it gives me heart. Come then, let us press on together. Thank you, Master Chai. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Yulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I am here, to find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly, and are you certain he's here in Amity? Rendon is his name, and yes, he is. Or was. I had scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Vothri's father when he was in office. If Ranjit was the mayor's right hand, one might say Rendon was his loved, and between them, they kept Yulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. But even if you do, what makes you think he will listen? before giving chase. Might it not be wise to speak with those who know him, here in Amity? They may be able to shed some light on his reason for rejecting your overtures out of hand. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Perhaps we should start with Tristol then. As I recall, you made rather a favorable impression on him. I'm certain he would be willing to talk to us. Greetings, friend. And to you too, Master Chai. Presume you are here to ask about after Rendon? I couldn't help overhearing your earlier exchange. Yes, well, with Fothry gone, Yulmore wants for a leader. Should no one rise to the challenge, the city could very well collapse. I came here seeking Rendon's counsel in the hope that we could build a better Yulmore together, and that is still my wish. But given how abominably you were mistreated there, I will quite understand if you choose not to help. Worry not, Master Chai. I bear no grudge against you or the people of Yulmore, and I would not see you suffer for Vothry's villainy. As you no doubt gathered from your meeting earlier, Rendon can be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, and little patience for anyone he deems less committed to their own. Your desire to right the wrongs of your past, of Yulmore's past, is quite admirable, but I fear the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. I can see it in your eyes, in the way you carry yourself. It goes without saying he sees it as well. You must let those feelings go, Master Chai. Be more assertive, commit to this course, and prove to him Yulmore has the resolve to change. The resolve to change. I believe he was heading towards Pit 8 when he left. If you plan to go and speak with him, I suggest you be firm and clear in your intentions. Very well, to Pit 8 we go, and I will not take no for an answer, nay, not even a maybe.
Well, well, it's you again. Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
I didn't invite them, as it happens, though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Yulmoran's. They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Vothry's villainy. The famous warriors of darkness.
Are they now?
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Vothry. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. And I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
Your sentiments are admirable, yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make. In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Yulmore. Gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all. But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Vothry was creating. And so I left my homeland behind. But you, Chai News, you were content to wallow in indolence under Vothry's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
I offer no simple answer to that question. But this much I will say. It is my hope that Yulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together. A great many people, myself included, flocked to Yulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. Seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. In ignorance. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us. The distinction between free and bonded died with Vorthri. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur. My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Yulmore for the people.
A Yulmore for the people. I rather like the sound of that. But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Yulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
Smug. Right then. Is there a particular issue you would have me resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems Yulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Ah yes, mule being neither a desirable nor less sustainable option, I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. And a man who hungers is not like to contribute much to society, save violence, perhaps. So tell me, how do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer, and I will consider offering you my counsel. Combination of measures would seem to be in order. One to address the immediate issue of supply, and another that of production. Go on. For the present, Yulmore's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbors. This would afford us time to address the underlying problem that affects us all, the long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as sources of trade for foodstuffs must be repopulated, their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle relations with our neighbors, guarantee security and stability in the region, and most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My, think of that all by yourself, did you? Well, yes, it began as a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago, after speaking with the peoples of Mulemore and the nearby settlements. You've impressed me, Chai News. I have? Well, that is a relief. Oh, you haven't secured my support just yet, only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them the means to do so. Fair point, Rendon, and one to which I have given much thought. I propose the use of Talos to aid in the establishment and maintenance of these settlements. Their employment should drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Talos, but Daedalus Stoneworks closed their doors years ago. Without a ready supply of the necessary equipment, the people would starve before your plans could be put into effect. Well, as the heir to Daedalus Stoneworks, it just so happens that Talos are my field of expertise. And with a little help, I'm quite certain we can acquire what we need in no time at all. Renan is quite right. Building Talos from scratch would require time we simply do not have. Which is why I propose to make use of the long-abandoned Talos which wander the wilds of Colusia. They will need to be deactivated, of course, and if memory serves, the tools required to do so should still be at top rung. Come with me. Maybe I should pause my streaming evening to go get myself a burger. That sounds very good right now. Aha, the old memory hasn't let me down. This chest contains canisters filled with a dastardly potent insulating powder capable of halting the flow of ether in a Talos. We need only get within throwing distance of one and let fly, thus disabling them without damaging them. Ingenious! An old trick of the trade, nothing more. Once disabled, should be simple enough matter to get them to march to Yulmore. More extensive repairs can wait. Ordinarily, this is where I would ask you to run along and blah 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 blah. We'll get back to that later. What is that awful noise? The alarm. They know we're here. They. The machine lifeforms, as you see. Access point. Machines don't have life, though that's an oxymoron. What is aiming at me? This thing? So hard to see what the hell's going on. Wee. How does it have a sky? Oh, hell yeah. It really is. Alright, man. You too. He's taking offense. Wee. Okay. An absurd number of particle effects. Got some healing pants. Wee. It's funny that I'm just stabbing it with a spear from here. Damn it. Scanning for energy signatures. There, below. It's rising fast. Wee. not targeting something? Wee. That's the one controlling the machines. Well, well. Now I destroy you once and for all. We beat him. I could dress up as 2B now. Chop, chop. There may be others lying in wait. We should withdraw. That's what her voice sounds like. Hello. She just collapsed. 1 minute she was walking ahead of us. The next, well, as you see here. Though after all of that, perhaps the greater shock is that you're still standing. I'm impressed and a little bit scared. Truly, you're wasted on the petty errands that everyone else puts you up to. Oh, are you feeling better? More importantly, who was that boy in black? How was he controlling the machines? Not a boy, an android, an advanced machine designed in imitation of mankind, same as me. You're a machine? But that's impossible. It's hard enough to make a fully functioning Ironbeard or a wind-up automaton that bears a passing resemblance to a real person. To create machines that look and act and fight like you two. Who could possibly have done such a thing? And how? But fine, let's say for the moment that I believe you. Why would one of these androids want to attack us? I don't know, but he's not the only one out there. If the other androids come looking for these ruins, I can't promise they won't be just as aggressive. Anyone who gets in their way could be in terrible danger. This whole place could be in danger. If they're anything like what we just saw, I don't like our chances. Don't be silly. We have our clever minds. We have loads of explosives. We have an exceptionally violent assistant. And we even have an android of our own. I'm sorry. My systems took too much damage in that battle. I don't think I'll be functioning for much longer. I can only tell you what you need to do. Deep within the ruins lies the key. Find it. With it, we can stop them. The machines, the androids. With it, you can restore. Restore her to functionality, maybe? What the hells was that all about? Oh ho ho. A very promising discovery is what? So we must persevere. Onward, inward, away! I knew that there was something of value in there. And once we get our hands on it, they'll see. They'll all see. Oh, nothing. What? Did you hear something? The real question is, do we pack more explosive this time? Maybe we can fit some in your pack as well. You are coming along, right? Oh, who am I kidding? I know you wouldn't miss it. How charming that you continue to pretend to care about my opinion. Yes, yes, we both know that you're loving this. And I have a present for you. Feast your eyes on this. It's a one-of-a-kind recording device, the portable archive. If you spot anything odd, anything at all, march right up to it and let this collect its data. Then we'll have a nice little set of records to review. I know, we're brilliant. Anyway, find a place for that in your pack, and do take care of what other preparations need doing. We'll be ready to go when you are. Promising spots within the ruins. Ready? Trick question. Don't care. Let's go. Before I start doing that, I want to see what it looks like when I dress up like 2B. Hell yeah. uh. Just think, machines equal to man. No, perhaps even greater. If we can find the key, we can figure out how they work. We can fix 2P, and then... And what? Slow down and use your head. How are we to know that any of what she said was true? Oh, so you'd have us sit on our hands instead of pursuing the untold power that sleeps in these runes? Twiddle our thumbs while others race ahead and claim the prize? I'm as intrigued as you are, but I would not have us put our blind faith in someone we've only just met, particularly someone making such wild claims. Were we to bring this key to her, there's no telling what she might do with it. If you want to be a coward, be my guest. I'll be boldly forging a path forward as, if you recall, we planned to do. And if we can secure 2P's continued assistance, all the better. What about you? You can either dive into the great unknown with me, or stick in one toe at a time like a beardless baby. Don't fret about Konog. There's so much that we could learn here about these ruins, living machines, and 2P's the best source of information we've got. And to seize this opportunity while we can. So are you coming or what? There's no point in arguing further. She's immune to reason when she gets like this. Happy to continue investigating. Of course I am. That's why we've gone to all of this trouble. We need to be careful as to how we go about it, especially where 2P is concerned. I don't trust her, at least not yet. Even should we find this key, we ought to be discreet as possible about sharing our plans and information. Don't you agree? Sure. Should you give your support to Konog's approach, Anog's path will no longer be available to you. Please note, however, that your choices will not affect the rewards and challenges to come. Indeed, I knew you'd have the sense to listen to me. Now let's get started, shall we? Passage to Zone 1. What does that mean? Oh. To start. Okay. I don't like relying on this place's internal mechanisms, particularly to dangle me over a gaping chasm. It seems we have little choice. Maybe if I close my eyes. Proceed, we should decide upon what to do in the event that we become lost in this maze of a place. These teleportation devices should serve. If you can't find your way back to me, use one to return to the entrance immediately. I'll meet you there. Got it? I'd hate to lose our muscle because you wandered off and fell into a pit somewhere. Now you're free to take a look around. If you find anything noteworthy, bring it to me. Weapon fragment data. Pickle Bob. There's so many dead androids in here. We're all 2Bs. That's the look of a man who's on to something. Do share. I'd bet that whatever this is, it's part of a greater whole. Let's see if we can find any similar pieces. We may be able to reassemble it, if so. Rusty, what's it? Tarnished thingamajig. Bum, 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 bum. hiding with this giant box? More parts for me, I trust. Don't be a miser now. Let me see them too. Oh, look at all of these. Hard to say for sure whether we have everything until we take a crack at reassembling it, of course, but it's a start. In this pod, I've been so wanting to take one of these apart. Do you hear something? Function resumed, initiating repair process. Alert, multiple life forms detected in proximity. Life forms would be us, I presume. Interesting. If it's still functional, there's no need for me to disassemble it. Pity. Still, I say we take it back with us. Any objections? No, of course not. So let's get on with it. Oh, what's this? It's him. Though how he climbed back up here in that state. Well, you're the one who wanted to work with 2P. I'm sure she would say to destroy him for good. What do you say? Oh, brother, you know me too well. We take him with us, of course, just in case. It'll be our little secret. Konak and I will be heading back out. I want to perform a proper analysis on these parts as soon as possible. Don't blame me if you want to look around a bit more first, though. You'd best share your findings. No, you teleported me all the way back to the entrance, so, you know. I was... maybe could go farther on the path without the cutscene and find something. but I did not. It's about time. You know what those parts we found? Well, I've managed to cobble them together into a decent approximation of something. I was hoping that if I got the basics right, the pod could tell us what it's meant to be, but it won't stop repeating, processing, and beeping at me. It worked when it was analyzing us, so theoretically it should be up to the task. But it seems we'll have to wait for it to finish, whatever it is that it's doing. I'm half tempted to take my tools to it, but if I can't put it back together, we'll be back to square one, so patient it is. Meantime, we have quite a bit of other data to analyze, so much in fact that I'm certain we will need a considerable amount of time, uninterrupted time, to work, if you take my meaning. I'm telling you to keep the chief off our backs for a while. I don't care how. Say that his house is on fire if you like, or put it to the torch if you're not comfortable with lying. Lolly, mysterious machines from the ruins will kill us all. Ho, I suppose. Sorry, it's been a lot to take in. Did you manage to keep our local miscreants out of trouble? They're safely studying our discoveries as we speak. It's true that when it comes to mechanical contraptions, you'll find none cleverer than those two, or more obsessive. If anyone's capable of solving the mysteries of these runes, it's them. Much as I hate to say this, we should leave them to their own devices, for now. Lolly, what a conveniently timed entrance, ho! I was just thinking that I ought to send someone to check on Ainog and Konog. They're still poking and prodding at those whatsits you dug up in the ruins, which is all well and good until one of them sets off another explosion. Say no more. I wouldn't want anything to happen to the artifacts. Thank you. You know how they get when they're curious about something. Not to mention that our annual carnival is fast approaching. There's plenty that wants doing before we're ready. Need those two to start pulling their weight. While you're looking in on them, remind them they've got duties outside of tinkering with rusty thingamabobs, will you? Maybe they'll listen if it's you doing the nagging. They seem to respect you, much as they respect anyone. Must be all the violence. You'll find them in the tunnels, of course. Can't lure them out of there for love nor money. And believe me, I've tried. Alright, I think I'm gonna take a break from stream. I want a burger. I don't want to do DoorDash. Do I want a slightly healthier burger or McDonald's? Maybe slightly healthier. 2 burgers. Wow. Alright. I plan on being back on when I get back. I want to do some programming tonight. Maybe more of this. We'll see. Anyways, I'll be back on a new stream within an hour.